Land in South Africa remains a sensitive, emotive and controversial issue. The South African government is under pressure. More than 2 decades after the end of apartheid, most of the land is still owned by the white minority. Currently, the constitution stipulates expropriation. The state buys back the land and gives it to those who were dispossessed under apartheid. But for over 2 decades, there have been very few willing sellers. The governing ANC is determined to change this situation. The party held a land summit this past weekend. The land summit resolved that Parliament should expedite the expropriation bill and introduce a redistribution bill so that it can become law.
We've got to address the issue of land reform and specifically focus on the speeding up of returning land to our people, and that we should embark on a program, amongst other things, which will lead to the expropriation of land without compensation, and use this as part of the processes that are going to ensure that land is returned to our people and that it leads to increased agricultural production, food security, and also generates further economic growth in our country.
Ramaphosa, however, emphasized that the expropriation of land would not be done through land invasions. He condemned the incidences of land invasions experienced in the country in the past few weeks. The ANC president encouraged South Africans to be part of the process, whether they are in agreement or not. The governing party is trying to identify some sticky points in the implementation of its land policy. Some members of the party are of the view that there is no need to actually amend the constitution to expropriate land without compensation.
Many wonderful ideas were put on the table of how we can do this, how we can legislatively move ahead with this process, whilst the parliamentary process is going ahead of looking at various aspects of the various instruments, be they constitutional or legislative, and how that can proceed.
The resolutions of the Land Summit will now be ratified by the ANC's National Executive Committee meeting this coming weekend. Yolisa, Njamela, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.